Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome, everyone. I am iamerichall, your success concierge, and I want to welcome you to this special stream. Today is November 20th, 2023. We have a lot that's going on. We're like a couple days away from Thanksgiving, which is, this time of year is one of my favorite times of year because it's all about, spending time with people you care about, being thankful, being grateful. And y'all see that as the title of the stream this evening. So we're going to go ahead and get into this as you know how we always do. Scent of the day, Bond number 9 Queens. Now I like this fragrance right here because I like this globe right here. They always have some unique bottles. But this particular fragrance is a Champaca fragrance. So some of you may or may not know much about Champaca, but it's like one of those flowers that's kind of rare, but it smells really good. It's very calm and very woodsy. And I like that this time of year, this time of evening. So bond number nine, Queens is a great champagne fragrance. So before we get started, I want to welcome everyone again. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's always great to be here. Always great to have you here. And then salute to everyone who's done views, everyone who's comment, everyone who's subscribed. We did hit a milestone of 100 subscribers. Now, some people may say, well, that's nothing major, but it's a start because you got to celebrate the little things and be grateful in those little things so that you can be prepared to be grateful in bigger and better things. So we see that as the title, which is generosity and gratitude. And thank you for the congratulations. So why is that important? So generosity is being a cheerful giver. And what type of energy flow does that show? That shows that one, that you're comfortable in what you have, whether you have a lot or a little, and that you're willing to give it away, especially if you're being a cheerful giver. And then the other things, thanks Kadim, man. Gratitude is being thankful and grateful for the opportunities that you have. We have so much to be grateful for. Even if you have a lot or don't have a lot, we have a heart that beats. We have use of our faculties. We're able to get on this internet that we're on now and view this type of information that we have. And so it's always good to be a cheerful giver and be generous. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial, although that's great, that's important. But you can also give up your time. You can give up services because some people may, donate food, donate extra clothes that they don't wear any longer. That's a form of generosity. The other thing is you can just give someone kind words or give someone a smile. It doesn't take anything to be generous and grateful. All right, because the little things they make the huge difference, and it affects your personality. It affects how people choose to deal with you as well too. Let's talk about gratitude as well. We talked about being given, being grateful, but it just shows that you are open, you have appreciation, and that gives you good energy flow. And you can do both. All right. Now, people say, okay, well, Eric, you're an image consultant. What does generosity and gratitude have to do with image? Funny you should ask. All right. So let's think about something, right? How do you feel? Or we've all had this person who comes to us and borrows money and doesn't pay it back, right? How does your thought process and energy toward that individual? All right. We've had the person who wants to come and take, and never give anything. How does it make you feel toward that person? All right. And then from a business standpoint, we live in a space where people are like, okay, these people are corrupt, they selfish, they take. So what does that tell you? Like when we talk about image, appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint, that falls in line with the behavior and also too secondarily communication, right? When someone is selfish, how do they move? How is their energy, right? They may look nice, look whatever, but if their behavior is, I'm selfish, I'm not giving, I want to hold on tight to everything I have, whether it's money, whether it's information, whether it's kind words, that does not do a good job endearing people to that individual or to that business. Same thing with the communication. If you're communicating that you're all about self, well, people think, okay, this is not someone if I want to do partnership with because they're going to leave me hanging with the bag. They're going to do the bare minimum. They're not going to do all the things that I need them to do to make for a successful engagement, a successful partnership, successful business venture, or even a successful relationship. So that's how generosity and gratitude affects you from an image standpoint, right? And then, so when we look at individuals who are known to be great givers, like you think of like the Mother Teresa's, we got a lot of different philanthropies people out there. And I use Mother Teresa as an example because she is someone, she was never quote unquote rich monetarily, but she's known for having an amazing heart. And we know plenty of people out there who are like that. All right. And so, again, from a behavior and a communication standpoint, it affects how people interact with you, how people perceive you, how people think they are, and what are some ways we can step up and be generous. Okay, so like you have a lot of people who are very talented in this space. They have a lot of information, and so how do you be generous? You donate to their super chat, their cash app. You do that. Let's just say this person has some information that you want, right? You might say, you know what? Let me pay you a consulting fee. or let me take you to lunch, or let me share this information for you, share, volunteer for your organization so I can have 10, 15 minutes of your time to get some information or knowledge. So those are ways you can show generosity and gratitude. And then it makes people say, you know what, this person is taking effort, they're trying. I want to know more about them. So I know you helped me over here. So tell me about your business. Oh, I know you helped me over here. Tell me about your project. I know you did this over here. Tell me some things I can do to personally help you. That's where reciprocity comes in. All right. So those are some things where your image is important and people see, because like, the people who take, they may get away from it for a little while, but you see those people coming and then you run away from them. So that goes into our case study. I'm very excited to have everyone here. I see the condemned man. Salute to you. Shout out to you. Salute. Thank you for the congratulations. I see the Linus is always doing that work. Thank you for y'all tuning in and congratulations. And then, I like to give people their flowers while they're alive. So I got like a couple people in some groups, Diamond, Peachy. Y'all always be pushing my stuff, telling people to tune in, subscribe. Salute to you, and salute to everyone who comes in here as well too. So I thank you for that. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this here. Let me see here. Okay, we'll talk about that. Okay, so this is actually a great point. I'm glad you brought that up, and I will address that right now before I even go into our case study. All right. Um, I can speak on it, right? And so again, you say you used to be generous until folks showed you how unappreciative they are. All right. So two questions, two ways to handle those situations, right? Now, one, when you were being generous, right? And you can answer this either in the chat or you can answer yourself, or if you want to call in later on, we can talk about that. When you're being generous, right? So I use myself as an example so we can take the emotion out of this, right? So let's just say I volunteer for someone and I say I'm going to volunteer from 12 to 2. All right. Now let's just say I get there at 12, maybe a few minutes early, and they may not be organized. They may not have me doing things, but I'm just sitting around for 30 minutes and then I may do some work for the 90 minutes. I'm not irritated or frustrated about those 30 minutes that I didn't do anything, because in my mind, I devoted myself to do whatever was necessary from 12 to 2, whether that's sweeping, whether that's passing out this, passing out that. So I already allocated that time in my mind. So when I talk about generosity in those instances there, um, I look at what my initial intent was. All right. And then secondly, when people are unappreciative, that's something that's beyond your control. Just like no different than if I see you, condemned man, I see you on the street and I could wave at you and say hello just because I'm genuine saying hello to you, and you could wave back or you could ignore me. Well, my intent to say what I was going to say to you was pure, right? Now, if you show me that you're unappreciative, is that a reflection of me or is that a reflection of you? That would be a reflection of you. So if you have people who are in your circle who are ungrateful or unappreciative, well, that means you need to get from around those people. And we all had that. There's no that I mean, we've all had people where we've done things and said things and they have not shown appreciation, which is that's part of life. I mean, we do stuff sometimes people don't say thank you. But it's the power of giving where we give because we choose to, because of how it's going to make us feel, not because how they are going to particularly respond. Now, if you're around people who don't respond in a positive manner to the gifts, whether it's financial, time, energy, whatever the case may be, then that's an indicator to you that okay, these people are not, they're sucking from you. They're taking your energy and taking your essence. So you might say, yeah, I'm cool with them, but I'm not going to be the one doing that with them. And then you find other people who are like that, and you look for people who move in and deal in reciprocity. I know it's like when you have that type of heart, you want to help, you want to give. You can't just stop doing it. You just say, okay, I'm gonna not focus on these type of people here and go focus on someone else who's going to be more appreciative. All right, because again, there's going to be some people who are appreciative, there's going to be some people who are not appreciative. It's just your approach to it. So if you feel like that group is not, then you leave them be and you go deal with people who are, because I assure you, in my life, I've seen both. I've seen people who are just takers, and you've done things for them, and I just choose not to deal with them any further in that space. And I've seen some people who are very grateful and very appreciative, and I choose to focus my energy on dealing with them and those because again, if this is your personality where you're someone who, like we talk about being generous, whether you're someone who's energetic, you're someone who's positive, you're someone who's disciplined in the sense like I don't know your lifestyle, you may be someone who says, you know what, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go exercise. I'm gonna go and be healthy. I'm gonna go read. I'm gonna go study. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna do all these things, right? And so, if people are not providing positive energy toward some of those things you like and enjoy, then that just means that like they're kind of holding you back and kind of a weight on you. And that may be people that you want to say, you know what, I want to distance my time from them. Even if it's family and loved ones, we might say, okay, I got to have dinner with them for 2 hours, right? So I know they like to talk about this, so I avoid that type of conversation, or I'm going to just zip it for that period of time because I know it's only 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever the case may be. All right, and yeah, absolutely. I love the feedback, and I agree. I know, right? It's tough because you want to. It's like sometimes that energy is like we have that. You get energy from giving, so I wouldn't say not do it, but just focus on other areas, and maybe you adjust how much you give to start, and do like that, so you can still have that energy flow and positivity. And I appreciate the comment on that and tune in. We're gonna definitely have a portion later if you should choose to call in. We definitely can do that as well too. So yeah, I always love these types of questions because again, sometimes like as an image consultant, when I see things from like how it affects people, how it affects outcomes, whereas versus I take it a little bit deeper than surface level. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this. I have a case study here. We're gonna be talking about someone who is a generous person. Let me go ahead and get that up on the screen. Let me pause to get this stuff up here. All right, let me see here. Share screen. Hold on. Let's go to window. Bam. All right, we got it. All right. So we're gonna knock out this case study on Mr. Robert Smith. All right. So some individuals may or may not have heard of Robert Smith, but this is someone who is a businessman, philanthropist, billionaire. We're gonna dig a little bit more into that with that. All right. So let's talk about him. He's early life. He's born in 1962. And he comes from a family of educators. Both of his parents were doctors and they had doctor's degree in education. And I put this particular image up here because he was born in 62. This particular speech was in as you see 1963. So his mom took him to this particular march, and this is like the view that Martin Luther King would have had on that particular day, minus the amount of people there were there. I've actually got to go there and stand in that spot, but this is where he delivered the "I Have a Dream" legendary speech. All right, and so this is something that's moved a lot of people. And then like it took him towards being a high achiever, and he was persistent. And so one example of this, he applied for this scholarship while he was, excuse me, internship while he was in high school, and it was only meant for college students, and they told him no. So he kept calling them or reaching out to them. Now, mind you, this is before we had email, text, where you could really blow people phone up, blow people inbox up. He would reach out to them every Monday for 5 months, and this is just a exercise in persistence. But one time, one of the students from MIT didn't show up, and so he was able to get into that program, even though it was not geared toward high school students. All right. So he got a bachelor's in chemical engineering from Cornell, which is interesting. When you see his second part of his career, he had an MBA in finance and marketing from Columbia. So even early in his career, he started off as a chemical engineer. He worked for well-known companies that you may have heard of, like Goodyear and Kraft. And then he worked for Goldman Sachs in their investment banking technology, technology and investment banking. And he did that from around 94 to 2000. And that's when he went out and started venturing on some of his own ventures. All right. So as you see right here, he founded Vista Equity Partners, which is his business, and they've been killing it. He's boasted a 30% ROI from 2020. I mean, from when they started in 2000 all the way up to 2020. Fourth largest enterprise software company, only following behind Microsoft, Oracle, SAP. Named Game Changer of the Year in 2016, and he's got 57 billion in equity funding. So this is someone who really, really gets it done. Now it's not without challenges because just because we do what we do does not mean that we won't have any issues or problems. So he had a tax evasion investigation in 2020, and it wasn't something recent, or it wasn't something it started off recently, but it stemmed from when he set up his company in the 1990s, or was setting up things, and this advisor told him to have some offshore holdings. So he made money, paid the 139 million dollar fine, and moved on about his business. All right, so this happened over the last few years. But let's talk about some of the giving and things that he did. Now, I left out one slide about his family, so I will touch on that before we jump into this right here. But he's been married a couple of times, got 7 children. So he recently remarried in 2015. So has a huge family there. But we talked about him having a focus on education from a young age. So these are some of the things that he did and donated to from an educational standpoint. So we may remember over in Nigeria, some of the Boko Haram had kidnapped some girls. Some of them were returned. So in 2015, he sponsored their education for those girls. 2019, he donated 1.5 million to Morehouse, which is a college in Atlanta, for scholarships in the park. And then he did some groundbreaking, crazy, like just insane. He was at the graduation. He was a keynote speaker, as you see him in his regalia here. But he said to the 396 grads, hey, your student loan debt, your college debt, I got it. So he paid 34 million for those students, wanting them to be able to have a fresh start. And again, education wise, they named the chemical and biomechanical engineering building in school at Cornell University after him. So this is someone who like really emphasizes giving, but also too opportunities for people to better themselves and educate themselves and just have opportunities. I mean, because a lot of times the finance is the thing that keeps people from pursuing education higher, whether that's a certification, whether that's a degree, whether that's an apprenticeship. So he's focused on that. But let's continue. All right. And then these are some of his accolades as well too. He was on the board of Carnegie Mellon, I tell you, where they named the school after him. Candle Business and Philanthropy Award for Morehouse. He's on the RFK Board of Human Rights. He's in the Texas Business Hall of Fame 2019. And then this is like I couldn't fit it all on the screen. And what I like about this picture, and it embodies him. Now, as an image consultant, I do that nice blue and black dinner jacket. That's a little bit bold for him because he does have more of a corporate style personality. So he's gonna be in blues, grays. He's not gonna really get out there like that. So I'm proud of him for stepping outside the box on that. But you see, what stood out to me about this particular picture, you see a diverse group of individuals. You see men, you see women, you see young people, you see older people, more mature people, you see people from different nationalities, cultures, such and so forth. And that it kind of goes in line with some of his philanthropic activities. Okay, so there's this pledge called the Pledge of Giving, and he was the first African American to sign that in 2017. And this is someone who's going to donate the majority of his fortune, when he passes on. All right. In 2017, he donated. I don't want to mess up this name, but it's a place that delivers meals to Indian children. Then City of Hope for provide prostate and breast cancer treatment and studies for African Americans. He's received the Carnegie Medal of Philanthropy, donated to microloans for HBCU grads. He helped this Mount Sinai, which is like a hospital in the Harlem, New York area. He sponsors a bus that goes out in the community doing cancer screenings. And then this is fascinating because of what we're experiencing right now with some of the conflict in various parts of the world. But along with the mayor of New York and some other community leaders, this happened in December. So if you're aware what happens in December, you have Hanukkah that's in that month, which is a Jewish holiday or Jewish time, and then also Kwanzaa, which is an African-based thing. And so he wanted to bring unity to that. And so, along with the mayor and some other community leaders, he co-hosted, 15 Days of Light. And so, this is someone who is wildly successful, $9.2 billion net worth, but he also is someone who's giving, who wants to help people, all different types of backgrounds. So, from an image consultant standpoint, when I see a person like that, or let's just take my expertise out of the picture, that is someone he would get invited to dinner. I would speak to him. I wouldn't run when I see him coming, right? I would be like, okay, what can we do to help? And then because he does that, he's giving cheerfully and willingly, he's gonna have people say, okay, how can I help you? What can I volunteer on? And that's the type of energy that we want to have as well too. So I take this like I went to an extreme of someone who's done this on an amazingly high level, but then I look at people that what we can do on a smaller level to get some of these things done. So yeah, it's Thanksgiving. I'm happy to be here. Salute to 100 subs. Salute to you out there. Salute to the people that you're able to help and impact. And this is one of my favorite parts of the time where we go and we start taking your questions. So let me get back over here and let me check out the chat, see if we got any updates on that. But we are just at half past. And yeah, if you want to come up here and get your questions answered or have a conversation, we can do that. Like the lines is open. So we can talk about image, we can talk about philanthropy, we can talk about business. As an image consultant, I focus on all those areas: the appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint. That's for you, the individual. We do that as well as when you're doing career, whether you're a solo entrepreneur, whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, whether you're in education trying to get scholarships, trying to get started off. We help with communication, your speaking, your corporate. And then from a business standpoint, whether you're a large business or a small business, you have an image as well too. Like how are you out there meeting the needs of your customers? What type of experience do you want them to have when they deal with you? Are your logos, communication in line with the message that you want to send? And that's why you hire a professional like me. I'm available to do that. Uh, you can catch me here. You can catch me on Instagram. Website coming soon. We putting in work on that because what I want to do is I want to continue to add value, continue to make it easy for me to reach out, connect with you, serve you, and get things done, get done what we need to get done, and put you in position to achieve your desired outcome. So we have passed. We just got finished with the first half. This is our Thanksgiving show. Normally we do things on a different day, but we're doing this way so you can have time to spend with your family, spend time with your loved ones, and just spend time doing whatever is meaningful to you. So if we got questions, I got answers. Let's go ahead and get started. All right. So one question is, how can I be generous and I'm struggling? Okay, so when I think of struggling, I'm guessing like we're talking about financially or whatnot. So let's look at a couple things, right? When we talk about struggling and being generous, one of the first things I talked about earlier in the stream, I talked about generosity is not just financial, right? Where you're taking money from that, right? So you may have limited finances, you may have limited time, but you don't have limits on your attitude. You don't have limits on little small things you can do to impact people because you can impact people and provide energy to people in a number of different ways. Now, unless you living in a hole somewhere where you don't talk to someone, you don't see anyone, you don't interact with anyone, which I don't think that's any of us because again, we live in a society where we need other people, whether they're bringing us food, they're fixing our cars, opening doors. We see people. So you can be generous in your approach to dealing with people. You can be generous in your smile. You can be generous in your encouraging words, because we all have things to give. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's small, but each gift is valuable. So again, if you're struggling, I would, one, shift the attitude of struggling, because I don't necessarily like to use that or put that on myself or put that on someone else, because you may have a challenge, right? And so your challenge is going to be different than someone else, right? You could have a music artist, they say, I'm struggling because my album didn't go platinum. I'm struggling because I didn't get a new car this year. Or you could be struggling because you didn't eat last night. Or someone might be struggling because they don't have legs. So again, we everyone has a struggle. So I don't like to use that particular word or say we have a struggle. You may have a time where you're not where you want to be, and that's okay. Whether that's something that some people may be considered minute, or some people might consider major. It's all about what you think and how you feel. So one, I would shift the focus on that. Like, I'm not where I want to be, or I may have some things I want to overcome. But then when you flip it like that, that's how you be grateful and gratitude with that, and then you can move forward towards solutions. And then you can just pick out little small pockets here or there. Oh, I saw this person when I was going to get gas. All I did was smile and say hello. That may have made their day, right? That may have made, like, they may have not experienced that, and you doing that minor thing changes things for them, right? And so when we talk about generosity and gifts, sometimes it's not something tangible. Where I took something from my hand and put it in your hand. It can be something intangible, energy, encouragement, those types of things. So again, as I spoke about earlier, if you don't have as much as you would like to have, there are still things you can do and you can be generous with as well too. Oh man, you're gonna make me go back. Grandma, she always used to tell us, like, as kids, she's like, oh well, y'all can help do extra chores. Like, you see someone doing something, you can do extra. So yeah, that's a whole different story. But that's grandma wisdom. She would tell you there's always something you can do to help. So I take that with me to this day. And whoever asked that question, I encourage you to look at that and see how you can utilize that in your daily life. All right. So yeah, thank you again for the questions. I always have fun doing these types of things, helping individuals. The call line is open for StreamYards. If you want to call in, we can go ahead and have conversation. We can ask you questions. It don't, whatever we got to do, we're gonna make it work because that's what we do. All right. So let's see if we have any more questions. Do you believe in celebrating small victories? If so, how? Absolutely. Well, okay. So we see here, right? You know, I got I just hit 100 subs thanks to the individuals who tune in, participate, provide feedback, provide content, comments, right? So I just hit 100 subs, right? So I mean, something small as I did something I like to do. I wearing this fragrance right here. Something as simple as that, right? This is another way to show gratitude as well too, being appreciative of the little things. And so I believe in doing that. I believe in starting wins, starting the day with wins, because waking up, being able to be energetic. I start my day by making my bed every day because it makes me feel like I got something done. But how you celebrate may be different for you. You may say, you know what, I did XYZ today, and so I'm gonna take 5 minutes and I'm gonna sit on the porch and just you look at look at the stars, look at what's out there, right? So I believe in celebrating small victories, or all victories for that matter, and I also believe in being gratitude to other ones. So if someone does something nice for me, hey, thank you for doing what you did today. Thank you for doing that. So that's me celebrating the good things that they did for me. But how you celebrate, that's going to be up to you, because I don't know what's important to you and what's meaningful to you. But you should take time, smell the flowers, and like, even when you're running and trying to go toward a goal, these people used to say, yeah, you hit that milestone, celebrate for 30 seconds, and then on to the next one. So it's always good about taking time to appreciate the little things that happen, so that you can be prepared for the big things. Because if you don't handle small things well, you're not going to handle big things well as either. All right. So that's how I handle that. Thank you for that question. All right. So do we have any more questions? Yeah. Shout out to you guys for tuning in today, being amazing. and then just enjoying me and enjoying the time that we have here. Like I said, Thanksgiving is one of my favorite times. I did go with this brown, kind of darkest, kind of earth tone with it because this is the time of year. Depending on where you are, the leaves is changing color. You change the from heat to cool. If you're in the south, you adjust that thermostat. That's when the marshmallows come out, the sweet desserts, those gourmand fragrances. So it's just an amazing time of the year. All right. So let's see if we have any other questions. You can put your questions in the chat. You can call in. All that. Okay. What are some things you're grateful for? I like these questions, man. I love these holiday questions. So again, grateful for this 100K subs because I celebrate the small victories. This is just a stepping stone. Like we're not stopping right here. We're gonna go to the next one, and I'm gonna celebrate that one just as hard and be just as grateful and appreciative. I live a very very blessed life. I have a wonderful family. Um, we made it this far. We hadn't beat each other up. We've had disagreements, but very caring, very loving, those types of things. I've been able to be around some very talented individuals who were able to teach me, believe in me, pour into me, and that's just an amazing experience. I've been around people who have some of the most amazing hearts to give, to share, to help, to welcome. Like that's just been amazing to me. I grew up around people from different cultures, right? And so uh, you have certain things that you believe or have been led to believe. People from this place, they don't like people from that place. People from this religion or culture, they have disagreements with that. But I've been able to have positive interactions with people. Have I had negative ones? Yeah, as well. But I just grateful for some of those things right there. And then I get ideas, I get opportunities, I get concepts brought to me. That's always something brings me joy, makes me smile, being able to do that. I love when people ask me questions about like some of the questions that we have here because it allows me to one assist in that area, but it also makes me hungry to drive to make sure, hey, I'm doing everything I can do to add value. I'm doing everything that I can do to bring you what it is that you need. And I've done some other things on the side that's going to be coming up soon where I'm taking time to enhance my skills in a lot of areas, enhance my skills, enhance my knowledge, because again, I want to be able to constantly grow, constantly serve, constantly add value to the people I interact with. So I'm grateful for those opportunities, but again, grateful for people as well, and just all the blessings that I have and are going to continue to have because, I'm looking forward to doing more, serving more, having more, and just more success. That's all. All right. So yeah, that answers that question. Now I turn that question to you guys in the chat. If you want to put what you're grateful for, you can go ahead and do that as well too. Or you can call in. I like hearing what like I like the energy of gratitude that it does because it's like, okay, I'm grateful for this. Now I'm ready to do something better. I'm ready to do more. We talked about reciprocity. So when you have that, it just shifts the mind, shifts the energy, and it prepares you for more. Also, too, like when you have challenges, you might say, well, I'm grateful because you can have success challenges as well, too. So then it puts the mind in mode, okay, I'm good at this. How can uh, I be creative and solve this to get to the next level? Um, yeah, absolutely. Like some Lions put in, I can't wait to get to that level to contribute to society on a larger scale. Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, and this is funny because this came from my mother, right? So, a little bit about her. She's very giving, very kind. I mean, that's how she is, right? They're civil rights babies, so they come from that particular time, particular era. And one of the things she was like, Eric, you're not being a good steward of your gifts by not putting it out there, not serving, not helping, and even giving stuff away undeserved. So that was shocking coming from her. I know we talked about being generous, but as the condemned man said, being exploited. When you allow that type of things to happen, you're not being a good steward of your gifts. And so that was shocking coming from her because she is one of the most amazing people as well too. All right. So yeah, that is that. We can go on to the next question. Let me sip a sip of this here. I like San Pellegrino, sparkling water, good for you. What are some signs when people are giving fake generosity? All right, fake generosity. Sometimes it's hard to tell, sometimes it's not. But when people want to constantly remind you of what they did, un like unsolicited, meaning, okay, well, I gave you a ride to work yesterday, or I let you come and eat at my house yesterday, or I gave you a haircut for free yesterday. That shows someone who is not necessarily being generous for the sake of being generous. They're being generous to try to keep score. They want to get some points on their scoreboard to say, I did this for this person, and now they owe me, or I did this for this person. Now I can show that I did that, right? And so that's a sign of fake generosity, all right? And just how, excuse me, how the overall the person makes you feel when you're giving, right? So, for example, um, I've done things where I've participated in, giving clothes, giving food, giving whatever, right? And how you do that, how you serve, you can tell when someone is authentic or not authentic, right? And the other thing too is me personally, I accept all gifts. And you say, Eric, why do you accept all gifts? Well, the reason I accept gifts, as long as they're not like something dangerous or whatnot, the reason I accept gifts is because when someone what took time, took thought to give me something, right? Even if they feel like it's their last, this is them wanting to give, be cheerful, and provide me with the blessing, right? And so me declining or rebuffing, that is almost like I'm stopping them and blocking their blessing, right? And then I'm blocking me for things I want because, like, okay, someone wanted to give you something small, you're not grateful, you're not appreciative, right? And so, if you travel the world, you travel different places, you get people who want to give you little things they've made by hand. They want to give you food, like invite you, whatnot. And so, I like to stay within that energy as well too. Um, that's that. So that's one way you can see and tell the difference between someone who's genuine and someone who's fake. We have some people who I'm not gonna name any celebrities, but I do know some that I believe that are not genuine and generous because they keep bringing up, or other people keep bringing up uh, the way they bring it up. So I'll just leave that right there. We ain't beefing right now. We just keeping it cool today. So yeah. So do we have any more questions? Again, we're here to answer questions, get feedback, and again, thank everyone for tuning in, contributing. You can come on, jump on the stream if you want to. Um, Looking forward to December. That's probably the best month. Finish the year strong. So we're gonna be back in that month. Got some new information that's gonna be coming. We got some more videos as well too, because I get requests about different types of content. So I'm gonna be getting in the lab doing that for you. We gonna be putting in work, man. We not slowing down over here. So you got any questions, comments, concerns? We can go ahead and throw those up there. Oh yeah, see now. I love all the questions, but I definitely love this question. What are three wardrobe essentials for cooler weather? All right. So we always talk about fragrance, footwear, frames to an extent, but like when we talk about cooler weather, right? So it doesn't matter what your style personality is, you definitely want to have a good pair of boots. And the reason why I say a good pair of boots, because this is cooler weather right here. So sometimes with cooler weather, there could be rain, there could be inclement, it could be wet, nasty, all types of adverse conditions, right? And you may not want to necessarily wear a dress shoe. So a nice boot, or it could be, well, depending on your style, personality, a boot, right? And that's going to help you prepare with that. I work with individuals and we can style up or style down depending on what your needs are. We can pick out a boot for you, a boot that works for me may not necessarily work for you. So that's why we do this type of thing, so I can get a better understanding of that. But a boot is good so you can, be stylish, be comfortable, and of course, be protected. Number two, man, got to have you a good fragrance. You got to have you a nice wintertime fragrance. So again, wintertime, cooler weather. I say wintertime because I know we have people in different parts of the world, but cooler weather, you want to change your fragrance up a little bit. You want to go with something a little bit warmer, a little woodier, woody, that type of thing, so it can last and really work in the cooler weather. You're gonna do different things for warmer weather. So cooler weather, you definitely want to have your nice cooler weather fragrances as well too. Of course, I say outerwear and sweaters, right? Get you some merino wool because you can wear that regardless of style, personality. This is going to add a little bit of versatility as well as outerwear. I was going to say overcoats, which I like, and I may do an episode or a talk on that. But I know that we do have some people who have different style personalities and people who are different ages as well too. So I would say boots, a fragrance, and things to keep you warm. And that could be your sweaters, your outerwear, your hats, what all those things, because you want to be warm, you want to be comfortable, you want to be stylish. I didn't get into specifics because again, I haven't spoken with you and I don't know your age or your style personality. So what's going to be appropriate for someone in their early 20s is going to be totally different for someone who is a little bit more mature in what their lifestyle is like. But those are the three things: some boots, fragrance, and things to keep you warm: outerwear, overcoat, sweaters, hats. Those are the three essentials that you have. And you definitely want to have some to keep you warm in your house and in your person as well too. So those are the styling things that you want to have to prepare you for the cooler weather. All right. Someone said, "Great, I can justify buying another pair of boots." Okay, all right. So now let me put you on pause right quick. Right now, when people want to buy something, I ask the three questions. So one, where you gonna wear it to? Two, what's the message that you're trying to send? And then three, what's the value proposition? So if you can answer those three questions successfully, and it fits in your budget, then go ahead and get that extra pair of boots. But if it doesn't, don't put that on me. That's on you. So you have to answer to whoever you have to answer to if you make that spontaneous purchase. Don't put that on your success concierge. That's your responsibility. All right. So let's see if we have any more questions before we uh, let it go. Are there any cause or group you support? Oh man, it's yes, it's quite a few. I have difficulty saying no to a lot of things because it just giving and volunteering feels good. I'll just say this: just this past weekend, we did our annual Baskets for Good, which is an event where um, we deliver food to families. Salute to everyone in the DFW area who did this with us. I know some people they may be on the stream or whatnot. If you hear, shout yourself out and salute. Because one thing I will say, I'll answer this question. And I'll say another thing. So we did that. It's if you're familiar with Anthony Robbins, when he was younger, he didn't have food for Thanksgiving. So now that he's wildly successful, he's big about providing food and meals for family. So that's some things that we do annually, and I've been a part of that. So that's great. I've done things in the technology space, helping individuals improve their skills in technology. Also provided soft skills. I've been invited to speak at schools, speak with young people, those type of things. I've participated in groups or things that support things overseas in Africa, other places. I've done a lot of things, and then my favorite types of things to do is like the fun things, right? So where they have like a mock casino or a charity gala, so then I can dress up, I can look good, I can donate some things as well as have a good time. So I really enjoy those type of things. I have some amazing people that I know. They do things like book bags and fitness stuff for students. So I've helped with that. I mean, it's just so many things out there. I can't really pinpoint specifically. I mean, beyond that, but there are things that I do, whether I donate, financial or even skill set or expertise, or I just do boots on the ground. I'm going to be providing labor and energy to help that cause. And I think individuals should do every individual should do that. They should find something that's meaningful to them. If animals is your thing, do something like that. If cooking is your thing, do something for that. If education your thing, do something for that. If just providing kind words is your thing, do something for that. I mean, we've been talking at length about all the things that we can do uh, to, um, uh, to be generous and help other individuals. All right. So yeah, we coming up on the top of the hour. Do we have any more questions? All right. So oh man, this is a great question. With the current economy, is it a good time to start a business? Well, they always say the best time to start is right now. So I say absolutely. Let's look at a couple things, right? Um, I'm gonna go simple with you. I'm gonna go Forrest Gump on you. All right. So in Forrest Gump, he was starting his business, and there was a lot of competition, and he was struggling. He wasn't doing well. Then what happened? Something crazy happened, and essentially he weathered the storm. When the other people got knocked out the game, got knocked out the box, he was still there, and that was the birth of the bubble gum bubble the birth of the bubble gum and growth bubble gum company, right? And so even if we look at some of the companies that are just kicking it, like just doing amazing things now, they may have started around the depression, or back almost 100 years ago in that time, right? So yes, it's a good time to start a business. But again, this is why we need to have a consultation. Is one, let's talk about what type of business you're going to have. And so we have questions regarding that. What's going to be your unique selling prop? What's going to be your unique selling proposition? What's going to make you different than the other individuals in the market? Why are you starting this business? Because whether the economy is good or not good, your business is going to have ups and downs. And are you prepared? Do you have what you need in place to be successful and thrive? So, yeah, I say if you got something you passionate about, you got an amazing opportunity that's presented to you, and it makes sense. Jump on that thing and ride it out. So I always say there's never, other than the present, there's never going to be a perfect time. It may be too cold tomorrow, it may be too hot the next day, it may be too wet the next day after that, it may be too dry the next day after that. Uh, the goldfish may drown after that. So if you are passionate about something, you find something, go ahead and do that. It's always good to not go it alone. When I say not go it alone, not necessarily that you're going to have business partners, but you have access to a wealth of information. You have your success concierge here, myself, but then you have people who may have done things like that before, may have been success stories on that. So you want to lean on that, immerse yourself on that, and get guidance along the way. Like always be reinvesting in yourself, always be reinvesting in your business, learning, growing, studying. And so, yeah, starting a business this time, depending on what it is, whatever, if it makes sense, rock it out. But also, too, make sure you're doing your due diligence, you're putting in work, you're doing the things necessary to help you be successful, right? So, again, you got your business plan, you got all those things lined up to do it. You're not just uh, shooting from the hip. Because if you're doing those things, as they say, failing to plan is planning to fail. And that can go for any time, any economy, any day. It could be money raining from the ceiling. But if you don't have those things in place, someone else is going to get that and not you. Probably be your success concierge who get it, and the people who work with me, because we are about putting people in position to achieve their desired outcomes. All right. So that is my response to that particular question. Do we have any more? Or does anyone want to call in, chime in? All right, if we don't have anything else, let me do my closing monologue. Let me close it out here. Do we have one more? Let's see. Does anybody have anything else? All right, well, that'll be that. Let me do my closing monologue. Again, okay. All right, good question. Like how? See, y'all be wanting to come in at the fourth quarter. All right. So how important is it to invest yourself? This is your number one investment right here. Investing in yourself. And investing in yourself can be a number of different ways. There's like you should always be investing in yourself. And again, investing in yourself sometimes is not always financial. It could be investing in being around good people, investing in taking in good information, right? Because there's a lot of negative information. There's a lot of things that will send you down that rabbit hole of unproductive things. So that's something to focus on. Also, too, if you have a skill that you're working on, whether you're in school, whether you're a business professional, whether you're an entrepreneur, there are skills that people have. You should always be investing in doing those types of things, always in the lab, constantly preparing to work. Because it's only two states. There's no middle state. Either your skills are improving or your skills are declining. All right. So you want to constantly be investing in yourself so you can have your skills improving. Because again, this is something that you're 100% in control of, and it's going to give you the largest ROI. Other ways to invest in yourself: are you eating properly? Are you getting the level of fitness that you need so you can be out there being able to perform and have a high quality of life? That's important. Are you getting enough rest? Are you getting enough nutrients? All those things are other ways that people may or may not think about when they talk about investing in themselves. Are you taking time to relax a little bit? Are you taking time to focus, meditate? All these things are ways to invest in yourself, and you should absolutely do that. That's like 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100. Yes, 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 and yes. You should be investing in yourself. Also, too, when it comes to investing in yourself, you may have experts like your success concierge, like this coach over here who's good at sports, this coach over here who's good at fitness, this coach over here is good at finance. And so you may have to take time and energy and finance to get that information from that individual. I think I'm gonna do a video or do a topic on that, because sometimes people talk about taking shortcuts. But yes, you got to be investment in yourself. So let me ask the question to the individual out there: if you cheat with yourself, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, why should someone who don't know you, don't care, don't love you, not you, why should they want to put in more in you than you want to put in yourself? So one particular person, I can't remember if it was Les Brown or the gentleman he made, what makes great great. But anyway, he said someone ought to get excited about your life, and I pray to God it's you that gets excited about your life. So that's that. I think that's a good way to end it on this stream here. So again, I want to say again, I'm grateful. Salute to everyone who participated, who subscribed, who watched, who commented, who shared, who posted, who did all things to get me to 100. I thank you. I salute to you. Salute to family. Salute to loved ones. And salute to yourselves. Definitely appreciate y'all. Again, it's the day before Thanksgiving. Well, not, excuse me, the week of Thanksgiving. And so some of you may be traveling. So safe travels to you. Some of you may be hosting, so I want all that to go well. Some of you may just be eating good, laughing, watching football. Whatever you choose to do, I want you to do that. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to be grateful. I want you to just have the best of the best for that. I thank you for tuning in. I am Eric Hall, your success concierge, providing you the vision, tools, and opportunity for your desired success. Salute. We out.